Welcome to Food Law and Regulations in Malaysia module. So let's get started. You often hear about law, regulation, and guidelines. So what's the difference? Law is a set of rules that is made by legislative body, for example, Ministry of Health. Regulations is basically the details on how to carry out the act and enforcement. Law and regulations typically go together as enforcement of law needs the how-to steps to comply with law. Then, what about guideline? It is similar to regulations in the sense that it contains how-to steps. But the difference is that guideline is not enforceable because it is not a law. Simply put, guideline is suggestion to reach certain food quality or safety, but if you do not follow the guideline, you will not be fined or face penalty. In Malaysia, food law and regulations are under the jurisdiction of Section of Food Safety and Quality, Ministry of Health, Malaysia, or in short FSQ. Here is the list of legislation under FSQ. The name of our major food law is Food Act 1983, which covers multiple regulations related to food. The second most recently established law is actually called Food Analyst Act 2011. First, let's talk about Food Act 1983. Under the umbrella of this act, here is the list of regulations that we have thus far. If you see the year of establishment of each regulation, you can tell that all regulations were not built all at once. From time to time, updates and revisions were done as necessary. Details of each regulation is available in the FSQ website. One of the regulations that is important for food safety is Food Hygiene Regulations 2009. It covers several sections and each section covers the following. First, preliminary. Second, registration of food premises. The third one, conduct and maintenance of food premises. Fourth, food handlers. Fifth, specific requirements of handling to selling of specific food. The sixth, carriage of food, and then the last one, the miscellaneous. Here are some examples of Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. Some of that mentions the handling and storage of raw ingredients. Frozen raw ingredients should be kept below minus 18 degrees Celsius, whereas for chilled raw ingredients, it should be kept between minus 1 to 10 degrees Celsius. Another one, thawing step of raw ingredients should be conducted properly because there are some foodborne pathogens that are psychrophilic, meaning it can grow even in low temperature. So we want to make sure that foodborne pathogen doesn't have a chance to grow during thawing steps. Next, cross-contamination should be avoided from raw to cooked food. This is the reason why utensils used for raw and cooked food should be different. For cooked food, it is important to avoid the danger zone temperatures. So what is considered as danger zone temperatures? It is between 10 to 60 degrees Celsius because this temperature range is favorable for most microbes to grow. Therefore, hot food should be maintained above 60 degrees Celsius and cold food should be less than 10 degrees Celsius. Handlers are also covered in this regulation. Who are food handlers? Food handlers are those who directly involved in preparing and handling the food, whether it is packed or unpacked. Not only the food, but also the food utensils. Why food handlers are important? Because we harbor Staphylococcus aureus on our skin. In addition, human can introduce cross-contamination, whether it is unintentionally or intentionally. So, to minimize the food safety risk, food handlers must practice good hygiene. This is including wearing apron, gloves, and shoes. Food handlers also have to acquire typhoid vaccination. Salmonella typhi causes typhoid fever, or in Malay it is called demam kepialu. Human can be a carrier of Salmonella typhi without even cause any illness to the carrier. This is actually termed as asymptomatic carrier.